Dustless Bewildering Cover. Dustless Bewildering Cover is one of the sneakiest jutsu out there, used by the second Tsuchikage, Mu. This guy is a master at it, like a magician with water, but on another level. Basically, it creates these super tiny water vapor particles around the user's body, bending light and making them completely invisible. But it's not just about hiding the body. This thing hides your chakra too. So it's like you're non-existent to anyone trying to sense you. You can be right in front of someone, and they won't even know you're there. The crazy part is that even the most sharp-eyed ninjas can't detect it. That's why Mu's known as the Invisible Man. He's like the ultimate stealth assassin and spy. It requires insane control over water chakra at the molecular level. We're talking Kage-level talent here. And remember, Mu wasn't even from the Hidden Mist Village, which is famous for its water-based jutsu. He was just that good. Impressive, right? Now, it's 4,100 subs. Wow! Huge shout out to all of you for the support. I really appreciate it. We're on the road to 10,000, and I need you guys to make it happen. So, my friends, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video to keep us going. I love you all. And of course, stick around till the end, because we're revealing the most insane jutsu you do not want to miss. Next, Water Release, Water Fang Bullet. Maybe you don't remember, Itachi actually used Water Release. Yep, you heard that. This technique creates super compressed water bullets with insane pressure, and Itachi shoots them at his target at crazy high speeds. These bullets can cause serious physical damage and can even be enhanced with a spinning motion, making them more likely to pierce through stuff. It's especially deadly when you're fighting on water because the user can shoot bullets from all sorts of angles, even from spots their enemy can't see coming. Too bad we only get to see Itachi use Water Release once. Water Release, Waterfall Basin Technique. And you might not notice, but Yamato also used Water Release. He even created this huge waterfall and basin, even though there was no natural water flow. Pretty impressive. This technique isn't just cool for creating a space to relax or train, it's also super strategic. By drastically changing the environment, it can mess with visibility and create great hiding spots, letting the user trick the enemy and temporarily disappear while planning their next move. Yamato used this when teaching Naruto how to add wind chakra to his Rasengan, but like with Itachi, Kishimoto-sensei didn't really explore this ability much. So, most viewers probably forgot about this hidden gem of Yamato's. Hiding and Miss Technique. Alright, let's talk about the Hiding and Miss Technique. This is like the legendary jutsu of the Kirigakure, and it's what makes their ninjas the real deal. It lets the user create a thick fog that covers the battlefield, turning the place into a silent killing zone. It's like the perfect environment for a ninja to vanish and strike without a sound. Now, the magic happens when the user transforms their chakra into super tiny water molecules and controls the thickness of the mist based on how much chakra they pump into it. Zabuza Momochi perfected this technique to the point where he could perform silent killings. Yeah, pinpointing his target by even the tiniest sounds, like a heartbeat or breath. This jutsu sounds simple, but the mist is so dense that it can shut down even the mighty Sharingan and Rinnegan. Those top-tier Dojutsu can't even see through it. Unless you've got Byakugan or some insane sensory skills, you're probably gonna die before you even know what's happening. This jutsu basically sums up the Hidden Mist Village's philosophy of a perfect assassin is one who is never seen. Hydrification Technique. This one's a seriously unique move from the Hozuki clan, and it's one of the most advanced water chakra techniques in the ninja world. So, here's the deal. This jutsu lets the user turn their body cells into liquid form at a molecular level. I'm talking everything, from the tiniest hair strands to your muscles. Basically, when they're hit with a physical attack, the affected area liquefies instantly, making the strike pass right through without causing any harm. Then, it solidifies back to normal real quick, creating a nearly perfect defense. However, if you electrify them, it works. Water's pretty good at conducting it, you know. Now, the defensive ability is just one part of what this jutsu can do. The Hozuki clan can completely morph their bodies to slip through the tiniest cracks, blend into water like it's nothing, pump water into their muscles to boost their strength to crazy levels, or shoot water out of their fingertips like a freaking gun. It's super versatile. And don't forget Suigetsu. That guy's always liquefying when he's avoiding something. And if you want to capture them, do it as if you're holding water. You need a sealed container. This jutsu has earned the Hozuki clan a terrifying reputation as the uncatchable assassins of the hidden mist village. Water release, Tate Eboshi. Suigetsu's got a quite impressive move. It's a mix of his hydrification ability and the raw power of water. So basically, Suigetsu dives into the water, then he creates this massive wave that looks like a freaking monster fish. He can use it to attack or shield his squad. He used it to protect his team from Killer Bee in his tailed beast mode. Actually, when Suigetsu got hit by a tailed beast ball up close, that wave couldn't handle the heat, and he passed out, turning into something like jelly. But still, you've done enough, man. Steaming Danger Tyranny. This is the deadliest application of the hydrification technique. It's the endless explosion masterpiece of Gengetsu Hozuki, the second Meizuka Ge, a complex ninjutsu that blends a deep understanding of thermodynamics and top-tier water chakra control. So here's how it works. Gengetsu creates an adorable copy of himself using a mix of oil and water from his body. This mini version has a unique structure. Its core is water, surrounded by a thin layer of oil, creating a self-sustaining, closed thermodynamic system. Now, the fun part. When the copy is active, it starts absorbing heat through rapid movement, causing the oil layer to heat up and the water inside to vaporize. This process builds up an insane amount of pressure, forcing the copy to expand until it hits its limit and explodes with massive power. The point is, after the explosion, steam rises into the air, meets cool air, and condenses into hail that falls down, cooling the copy and causing it to shrink back to its original size, ready to start the cycle all over again. It creates an unstoppable, perpetual explosion loop. Even though it constantly changes size, the copy moves at an insane speed, fast enough to dodge Gaara's sand. But, and this is a big but, the technique weakens the Meizuka Ge's real body, making him vulnerable while using it. Onoki, the third Tsuchikage, even called it the scariest water technique he's ever faced. It's also why Gengetsu Hozuki became one of the most powerful and mysterious Kage in history, undefeated on the battlefield until he sacrificed himself in a battle with Mu. Soap Bubble Ninjutsu. Soap Bubble Ninjutsu is a special branch of water release developed by Utakata, the Jinchuriki of the Six Tails, Seiken. The technique uses the concept of surface tension of water molecules combined with special chakra to create bubbles that are both durable and flexible. Utakata uses a bubble pipe to control them, blowing chakra transformed through a special soap solution to create bubbles with all sorts of crazy abilities. He can change the chemical properties of the bubbles at will. He can make explosive bubbles filled with flammable gas, acid bubbles that corrode opponents, smoke bubbles to blind and disorient enemies, or even sticky bubbles that trap people. Harusame, Utakata's master, was the one who first developed this technique, but Utakata took it to the next level by making giant bubbles that he can move inside of, turning these bubbles from a weapon into a versatile mode of transportation. Water release, water mirror technique. The water mirror technique is one of Yagura's special and unique moves that allows the user to counter and nullify attacks with style. Defend, they can counter hard, catching the attacker totally off guard. But once the reflections collide with the attack, they dissolve back into water. This technique requires high precision and some serious calculation skills. In a fight, the user can totally control the flow of the battle, putting the opponent on the defensive. It's pretty much regarded as a tactical gem, offering a smart way to deal with heavy attacks without burning out too much energy. Heavenly Weeping. Alright, when we talk water style, we absolutely have to mention the second Hokage. Heavenly Weeping is this sick water ninjutsu that Tobirama Senju came up with. The guy literally turns chakra inside his body into pure water, then forms it into sharp little senbon right in his mouth before blasting them at his target faster than you can blink. Tobirama can hit those sweet spots, pressure points, and weak spots like he's playing darts. It's perfect for ambushes because seriously, you don't need any fancy hand signs, and it's basically invisible until you're hit. When Tobirama got pinned by Madara, he used this move while Madara was distracted. Only problem was, by that point, Madara was out here flexing way too hard. Water Release. Water Severing Wave. Stronger than the water needles, we have Water Release. Water Severing Wave. This is another water release move with crazy water pressure, and it's used by none other than Tobirama Senju. Tobirama focuses his chakra into his stomach, transforms it into water, and then lets loose a powerful stream of high-pressure water. It's strong enough to cut through pretty much anything, even the roots of the god tree. Like, it's no big deal. I mean, he's literally cutting through the roots of one of the most legendary trees in the entire ninja world. That's some next-level water control right there. Water Release. Water Dragon Bullet Technique. Alright, if we're talking about water release, we have to mention the Water Dragon Bullet. This is like the iconic jutsu of the whole water style. It's one of those powerful and elegant techniques where the user controls water to form a giant water dragon. This dragon then charges at the target, causing some serious damage on impact. At first, this jutsu relies on having some water nearby, but with the right skills, a ninja can even spit the water out themselves. And let's be honest, this move is just cool. It shows up a few times in the series, and every time it looks awesome. If you're a ninja with great chakra control, this technique can become a pretty scary long-range attack. You can pretty much control the battlefield from a distance with it. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Mei took it up a notch by combining it with the Raikag's lightning chakra, creating the Lightning Water Dragon Bullet. Not only does it do the same damage, but now it's also electrically charged, paralyzing the target. Pretty wild. Water Prison Technique. This is one of the most iconic water release techniques in Naruto. It creates a massive water sphere that traps the enemy inside. The water in this ball is so heavy that the person trapped in it can barely move, and on top of that, they're struggling to breathe. Once you're caught in it, unless you're a Hyuga like Neji, who can release chakra all over their body, or you can manipulate water, you're basically just waiting to drown. The way it works is pretty simple. The user has to keep their hand on the ball to maintain it. Sounds like a weakness, right? But smart ninjas can use a water clone to hold the ball while their real body takes care of other enemies. And it's not just about trapping someone. In the anime, if anyone gets too curious and touches the ball, they get sucked in too, turning it into a full-blown trap. But even a great jutsu has its flaws. If the user loses focus or gets knocked back, the prison breaks apart. That's why it's awesome for 1v1 fights or when you've got clones to back you up, but it's not really something you'll see in large-scale battles. Water Release. Water Shark. Bullet Technique. The moment you hear the word shark, you probably already know what's coming, right? Yep, it's one of Kisame's signature moves. He controls a massive amount of water and shapes it into a giant shark. So, the user swings their hand, directs the water at the enemy, a shark forms, and follows that water stream, smashing into the target with serious force. The power of this technique comes from both the speed and the volume of the water, making it destructive. Sounds simple, right? Well, honestly, this move isn't that OP on its own. But, of course, it's Kisame we're talking about. The guy could summon hundreds of water sharks if he wanted to. Now, we have Water Release. Great Shark Bullet Technique. This is basically the upgraded version of the water shark bullet. It hits way harder. Instead of a small water shark, Kisame uses his chakra to summon a massive one full of raw power. What's really wild about this jutsu is that it absorbs chakra from enemy techniques. So when an opponent uses a powerful jutsu, this shark takes that chakra and gets bigger and stronger. In other words, the stronger the opponent, the stronger the shark gets. It's like a dangerous counterattack that turns the enemy's power against them. That's what makes this technique so dangerous. Kisame can literally use the opponent's strength to boost his own. And next, we got Water Release. 5 Feeding Sharks. These sharks don't just rush at their target with insane speed. They also move in a whirlpool formation, making it nearly impossible for the victim to escape. The cool thing about 5 feeding sharks is that it's not just a one-and-done bite. Once the enemy is surrounded by these 5 sharks, it's pretty much game over. They don't stop. They keep biting and tearing at the target, draining their strength bit by bit. In the anime, this move even gets an upgrade where the sharks can regenerate from the water around them, meaning you can't just destroy them unless you have something seriously strong against water. And it doesn't stop there. Kisame can even turn the entire ocean into a swarm of killer sharks with water release, 1,000 feeding sharks, 1,000 sharks, and they're all coming for you. He creates a massive wave, and in that wave, 1,000 water sharks form. When the wave crashes down, it's like the ocean itself is devouring the enemy. Compared to 5 feeding sharks, this move isn't just a step up in numbers. It's an upgrade in scale and power. It's no longer just a technique for one-on-one battles. This thing could wipe out a whole battlefield. What's the strength of this move? Wide-range damage, overwhelming power, and constant pressure. In short, you're pretty much dead if you're not Might Guy. Water release, exploding water, colliding wave. If there's one jutsu that shows just how boss Kisame Hoshigaki is, it's definitely exploding water, colliding wave. Unlike your average water release ninjas, who can only pull off little water attacks here and there, Kisame just opens his mouth, and he floods the entire battlefield with an ocean. When he uses it, he spits out a huge amount of water that creates a massive tsunami, sweeping away and crushing anyone who gets in its way. And to make things worse, he rides that wave, using its insane speed to close in and land attacks, while his opponents are still struggling to stay afloat. What makes this technique even scarier is that the amount of water created depends on the user's chakra, and Kisame has chakra on par with a tailed beast. That means, even if he's standing in the middle of a barren desert, he can create an ocean in a split second. It's not just an attack, it's a way for him to change the whole battlefield to his liking. Once the ground turns into a sea, Kisame is basically unbeatable because he can use all the advantages of a water release ninja, while his opponents are left scrambling just to keep from drowning. So, if you see Kisame start to open his mouth, it's probably best to turn around and run. Water prison shark dance technique. Alright, this is when Kisame decides to turn the entire battlefield into his personal playground. Kisame turns the whole area around him into a massive water prison, and trust me, it's pretty much impossible to escape. Kisame's standing in the middle of it, and as he moves, the water moves with him. No matter how fast you swim, you're just getting deeper into despair. This is the kind of jutsu Kisame was born to use. He's a straight-up monster who dominates underwater combat. Now, it's not perfect though. If 2 opponents start running in opposite directions, Kisame's gonna have a hard time keeping both under control. But one-on-one, good luck. Rain Tiger at Will technique. So, this isn't your usual attack or defense jutsu. This is a super advanced sensor technique developed by Nagato, and it represents the most insane control over water chakra we've ever seen in the ninja world. The basic idea is that the user creates special rain clouds filled with their personal chakra, and then they control those clouds to cover a massive area. In Pain's case, this covers the entire Omegakure. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Each raindrop is connected directly to the user's sensory nervous system, creating this live, constantly updating sensory network. So, when a foreign ninja with a different chakra than the Omegakure residents steps into this rain, their chakra messes up the sensory network, instantly alerting Pain to an intruder. But this technique only detects the presence of someone, not their exact location. So, Pain has to team up with a scout expert like Conan to actually figure out where the intruder is hiding. Well, most people just think the rain is a natural part of Eternal Rain Village, having no idea that every raindrop is actually Pain's eyes, watching everything. So this jutsu is basically a symbol of Pain's absolute control over Omegakure. He's like a god, always watching, with the rain as his all-seeing eye. Jiraiya once said this was the one sensory technique that stopped him from infiltrating a ninja village without being caught. Yes, the mission to infiltrate Omegakure is S rank for a reason. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.